Property Tax Services meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes of prior meeting. Peter? Claudia? All in favor?
Aye.
Done deal. All right, we got several. We have no new business?
No.
Cross that off. Okay, we're gonna have a last chance meeting. We have 3 people, they're all on Zoom, right? Yeah, okay. We have 3 people. I'm gonna turn it over to Lexi, give you all an update of where they are.
Morning, everybody. The first person on the agenda for the last chance meeting is Neil Heslin. He has 2 pieces of property in the town of Thurman. One on Cameron Road and one on Stony Creek Road. The one on Cameron Road does actually go all the way through to Stony Creek Road as well. So they're across the road from each other. Neil, are you on?
I can see him.
He's muted.
Yes, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes. So give us a rundown of what you want to do here.
Well, as Lexi said, I have the 2 pieces of property in the town of Thurman on Stony Creek Road and Cameron Road. They're all on the same deed, adjoining each other. The property I've owned for approximately 30 years. The value of it exceeds what's owed on the rearage and the taxes. Currently, I'm currently in an agreement, an installment agreement. I've had some hardships with the COVID and some health issues this past last year, which created a financial hardship. I'm asking for an extension of time till at least mid-September to bring this current and pay the taxes off on the rearage on both pieces. I have 2 settlements coming, which I should have in my possession late August, beginning of September. And that's what I'm asking for, is an extension of time.
How sure are you, Mr. Heslin, of getting those settlements?
100% sure on it. It's with the COVID and the court systems, it's just been a little slow with finalizing the finalization of it. But I'm, as I said, 100% sure by mid-September I'll have those funds.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Peter? Claudia?
I just want one question.
Okay.
Mr. Heslin, I know you're looking to the middle of September. Do you think we ought to consider maybe giving him till the 1st of October?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
He's in 1st of October, he said. Go ahead.
So the county attorney's office is planning on filing their motion September 2nd with the courts. If we file the motion with the way everything is currently, his property would be in the motion. I know that they have amended prior in the courts. It's just a matter of how fast the courts act on signing our paperwork. So if we take title, then it means we would have to issue a deed back to him. So it all really depends on how quick the courts move. I just wanted to put that information out for the committee member.
So can we pull his property from that resolution? Michael, you want to expound on that?
Well, I think that's more of a question for the county attorney's office, whether that they can pull that from the action. As far as the treasurer's office is concerned, you tell me when I can take payment and I'll take the payment. I mean, it's more a question of whether or not we can make it work with what the county attorney's office has to file with the courts.
Mr. Terwilliger?
Sorry to pass it to you.
No, that's
No, he
okay.
wasn't. He passed that off as quick as he could.
That's all right. I can do whatever the committee would like me to do. I can pull the parcel from it. The issue with with making the motion is that we'll file a motion for a judgment in early September, like September 2nd. That would be asking the Supreme Court here to grant title to the county for the parcels that are going to be foreclosed on that haven't paid property taxes as of that time that the motion's filed. The big question is how fast will the court get to answer it and make a decision on it? When I submit the motion on the 2nd, I have to give it a certain amount of time. A notice period has to be about 2 to 3 weeks roughly on it. Technically, it's about 13 days, 8 days to answer the motion and 5 days for service by mail if you send copies of it out to people by mail. So you have to allow some time for that. So the rule of thumb generally is to give about 2 to 3 weeks, like 15 to 20 days. So I would submit it on notice out about 15, 16, 17 days or so. The court could then make a decision as soon as that time, 16, 17 days afterwards. If I submitted the motion on September 2nd, noticed, say 15 days ahead, then on September, 16th, 17th or so, we could get a decision from the court granting title to the county on those parcels. Most likely that's not going to happen. They usually don't get to those that quick. So most of the time we're kind of hunting them down to, as it gets closer and closer into October, closer to the sale date, we're hunting down the judges saying, hey, we really need this. So, I mean, I would say it's entirely probable we're probably not going to have an answer from a court with a decision, probably not before the end of September. I wish it was, because it's a lot less nerve-wracking for us, but it does take them a while to get to the paperwork.
So if somebody pays up in that period of time, can they be withdrawn from that?
If someone paid in the time period between when the motion is submitted and before we get an answer from a judge, a decision from the court, we could submit an amended motion with that particular piece of property removed.
Okay. What's the pleasure?
I still have a question.
Yes.
What is the amount he has to pay in September in order to get into the installment agreement?
That's the one figure I did not get. The treasurer's office, I got figures from them for July and August, so it would only be like another $50 added on to that August figure. So the end of August figure is $5,845.61 he would need. But it's a matter of.
It'd be about another $100 in penalties.
On top of the 5,000.
Right.
Chairman, can I ask him if he can make that payment by September 1st, the 5,000? That would be a lot cleaner if he can.
Mr. Heslin, did you hear that?
I agree with you. It would be a lot cleaner. I think there's a very good chance I could do that by September 1st. I would say probably an 85% to 90% chance that I could do that. I could definitely make a portion of that, probably 3,000, 3,500 prior to that, sometime this month, the month of July.
We can't.
What was that your question, Claudia? Or did you
Yeah,
want to know
yeah.
what-
I guess I'd say, to the applicant, try to get it in by September 1st. And if not, maybe we can give him an extra 2 weeks. But that would be the very last date then.
Okay.
I'll make that a motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
Peter?
Have a specific date, please.
September 1st and
September 14th.
September 14th.
All right.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. So you're good until September, but you got until the 14th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good, and that should be sufficient. I apologize for my camera being all over. I'm on the phone and I
No.
don't hear that. So I keep tilting the microphone so I can hear it. But okay, so I'm all set. I'm good till September 14th, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I thank you and thank everybody on the board. Have a good day. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye. Okay,
Next on the agenda is Jeffrey 2. Jeffrey has a piece of vacant land in the town of Chester, Mountain Estates Road. I will let him speak.
Mr. Tooley, there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Jeffrey too, in Propria Persona. I'm asking, same thing, I have severe health issues. I'm taking care of an elderly parent and my child has lost his job because of COVID. I'm permanently disabled and my income is extremely limited. I was there, Michael Swan, in September because I had a thing he was going to pay back in September on my installment agreement, but I was under the impression after talking to him at the building there with the security guards that I thought because of COVID, you know, maybe there was an extension or something. So what I have two, you know, according to your records, I have two things. There's one, I can make some payment on the, if I have to, on the, to get up the installment agreement, the old installment agreement, but I need a new one. And it's not allowing me until September 1st. So I'm asking for, you know, an extension on that, or, you know, it's only like 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay,
Jeffrey, you had mentioned that you were willing to pay the balance of the $656.61 by July 31st to pay off the current installment agreement. Is that something you're still doing?
I mean, if I can make it, you know, if you can put it in half and then I'll get it current, I guess, according to your records, September 1st is when I get the second installment agreement, if I get into that.
If you're allowed to do that, yes, that would be September 1st.
Yeah,
This balance off first.
yeah, it was mine. That's why I came up, Michael. I don't know if he's there on the Zoom. That's why I came up in September. But like I said, subsequent to that, I came down here and I've been in hospital 3 times in the last 6 months for severe health issues. So again, you know, besides everything else going on with the COVID thing and, you know, not being able to be out because of my things, plus an elderly parent who hasn't been out in a year and trying to, you know, manage that, and a son who doesn't have any income because, you know, he had unemployment, but you know, his you know, it's low. So I've been having to, you know, shoulder that burden. But, you know, yeah, I can, if you split the payments, you know, for the $600 and then the you know, the new installment agreement, you know, that would be you know, the best option, I would guess, if I had to do that.
okay. Michael?
Yeah, we can't, because this installment, the last payment for this installment was July 30th. We can't take a partial payment on the total amount. It has to be paid off in full. Yeah, okay, I just want to make, because I thought he said he wanted to pay X number of dollars and then some more later.
Well, he kind of did, Michael, had me a little confused. So you're saying he needs to pay the 656.61?
Right, but that doesn't get him out of the foreclosure because he still has his 19, 20, and 21s are outstanding. And because it's a vacant parcel, that puts him in the foreclosure also. So what he's asking for is to get into and pay off this installment by September 1st with the 656, and then go into a new installment agreement on September 1st to pick up the, I think it's $1,300 of back taxes for 19, 20, and 21.
Okay,
All right.
got it.
Okay.
Everybody got that?
All right.
So we are saying he can pay the
well,
656 by September 1st?
He's
Instead
saying,
of July 31st?
he said he could pay it by July 31st, and then he would come up with the $349.41 for September 1st to go into the installment agreement.
Yeah, it
So-
would be, I was discussing options. It would be much better for me because, basically my income is so limited, to split it by the first and get that one taken care of if if that was, possible, and then get into the other one. It's just, it's summer and, expenses are, and, despite our wonderful healthcare system, I'm on the hawk for a lot of, I had to do 10 days and in the hospital, and it's well over $100,000. So, I got a good portion of that on which I wasn't, in expecting, and it's just been very stressful financially.
Well, we get that. So if you can pay by the 31st, it's 656.61, and then if you pay 349.41, that'll get you on a new installment plan. That has to be paid by,
He can't enter the installment agreement until September 1st because the current installment, the last installment agreement he entered into on August 31st.
okay,
And you have to wait 3 years from the signing of one before you can enter into another one.
okay.
So,
Please keep in mind, his installment agreement that he's currently in ended last June.
Yeah.
June of 2020, and he hasn't paid any payments for a whole year.
Right.
So I just wanted to.
Well, that's,
clarify.
yeah. And as I said, I was there in September, because of that. But, I was under the impression, given to me that, I thought, because like with the rent thing, I thought, the COVID thing gave a, extension thing. So, I mean, it's, if I could split the payment, the 600, and then get into a new one, that would be the most acceptable thing, for my situation.
well, like I said, I have to accept the full 656.61 because the installment is so far overdue. So I don't have the legal authority to accept a partial payment on that.
So I got to come up with $600 by the end of July.
Right.
Yes.
656, yes. You can pay that by the end of the July, and then we'll set up a new one after the 1st of September
Okay.
installment plan, and that one has a $350.
Okay, well, that's better because $2,000 in one fell swoop is just, I can't do that right now.
Okay. So that's good with you? You understand what we're saying?
Yes,
Okay,
there's other issues I want to look into, but like I said, I
yeah,
and I didn't know when the Zoom,
just,
because,
Yeah.
the COVID thing seems to be, if they get the variant thing, it seems they're going to ramp it up again. So, who knows what's going to go on. But, it's like I said, I got 2 other people that I got to be, shouldering a burden to, plus myself. So it's,
Right.
Every dollar, counts.
sure does. Keep us in touch if anything comes up.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so we need a motion to do that.
I would so move.
Peter?
So to clarify, the motion is he'll pay off the installment agreement by the end of July. Then we're authorizing him to make that payment of what is needed in order to get into the second agreement on September 1st.
It's $350.
Thank you. Yes, I'll second that.
Okay, there's a second. Sylvia, I apologize. Do you have any questions? No? You're muted, Sylvia.
I made the second on that. You didn't see it. It's okay. No problem. No question. I got it.
Excellent. I'm sorry, Sylvia. Thank you. So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carried. You're all set. Good luck.
Have a good nice day.
Okay.
Okay,
Next on the agenda is Henry and Madeline Leach Estate, property in the town of Pague at 171 Split Rock Road, a one-family residence, and I believe Heather West is here to speak.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Heather.
Good morning.
Did-
Thank you for adding me to your agenda. My name is Heather Deer West. I'm the Director of Civil Legal Services for the Rural Law Center of New York, which is just a fancy way to say I'm an attorney. I'm here to represent basically Paul and Thomas Belden. We were contacted by the Beldens. They are living in the family home at 171 Split Rock. Upon reviewing their file, it looks like they obviously owe back taxes and they had been trying to make some sort of arrangements, but didn't realize that the family home isn't actually in their mother's name. And there was some confusion as to the deed and the title. So looking at it, obviously, Henry Leach passed away prior to Madeline. Madeline died over 21 years ago and the family never probated or administered her estate. So the deed still shows her as the owner. She was survived by 5 children, Helen being one of them. She resided in the property. At some point, her 2 sons joined her. But again, never transferring the property into any of the 5 children's names. They just lived in the family home. Helen has since been placed into a nursing home suffering from various severe health ailments, and unfortunately also has dementia. Paul and Thomas still continue to live in the family home. In the following 21 years since Madeline's death, 3 of her heirs have died. So their interest in the property has gone down the line to whoever their heirs are. What we are asking for, if possible, is a year. I know this is a significant time, but if allowed, I would help the Beldens start cleaning up that title. I would open up the appropriate estates or work with the families to get the estates open. I would track down the remaining surviving heirs. I would hopefully get everybody to sign off. I know that there is another living sister in Florida who does not want the property and would be willing to sign it over to Helen, Paul, and Thomas. Once the property is in their names, then the Thomas and Paul would be able to make an installment payment. In the meantime, they would be saving their money. The original plan for them was they wanted to pay $200 a month. Obviously, that isn't enough for various reasons. Obviously, they're not the owners. They can't do the installment plan. Even if they could, that's not enough money. I think within the year, they could start saving their money so that they could make the proper installment payments. It is a lot of work, which is why I'm asking for a year. I don't want to sugarcoat this in any way. I'm sure maybe some of you are familiar with this kind of process. I'm sure this isn't the first time this has happened. But the Rural Law Center, we would certainly be willing to put in the work and clean up as best we can the ownership of the property.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? So you're, Heather, you're asking for a year.
Yes. At minimum, when I get an estate open, at minimum, the estate has to stay open 7 months in order for any past creditors to have an opportunity to file an estate or to file a claim against the estate, beg your pardon. I would need the extra time just to track down the family members. That's probably what's going to take me the most time. I have done this before. A year is pretty much what it's going to take. Helen, unfortunately, isn't going to be of much help given her health. Also, Thomas and Paul both have significant health problems themselves, which also means they're on limited income. We don't want to see them lose the family home. Obviously, I don't think anybody does. So we are certainly willing, I'm certainly willing to put all of that effort into trying to clean up the ownership.
Okay. Mrs. Bramer?
Thank you, Chairman. Attorney, I'd like to know if Attorney West, well, first thank her for her work on this. It is going to be a difficult, long process, I'm sure, especially with the last known decedent being 20 years ago who owned the house. I just want to clarify for myself, did you confirm that Paul and Thomas live in this residence?
Yes, I've spoken with Thomas. Paul has throat cancer and has a very difficult time speaking. I've also been working with their caseworker, Faith King. So I have been in communication with them. They both do live in the residence.
Thank you.
We can verify that too.
I was
Yeah.
at the door.
Okay,
I personally spoke to him.
okay, great. Thank you. I will make a motion to give us
A year?
a year on this one.
Okay, I will second that, and just need to maybe specifically in terms of amount of money and dates involved on this situation.
Lex?
One thing that we do have to be aware of is even if we give the year, this is going to be in next year's foreclosure.
Mhm.
So there will be a continuation of an abstract. There'll be posting fees. There'll be postage fees for mailings. That'll also get all added into this figure. There's a current bill that'll come out in September for school and another current bill that'll come out in January for town and county. So you're looking at, on this figure, I'd say probably another $1,500 on top of this if they don't start paying the taxes that are current. Once they go into an installment agreement, they are supposed to keep the other taxes current as they come out. So, Ms. West, I guess that's a question I have. I mean, do you feel that they will financially be able to enter into an installment agreement that'll then be at about almost $7,000? They'll have to put 25% down and then continue to pay their other taxes as they come out.
I have spoken with them about this. Obviously, before coming to this meeting, I needed them to be realistic with me about their abilities. They seem to believe that they can. That would be my hope as well, because as I said, this is a lot of work. And I certainly wouldn't want to waste your time, my time, or incur any of further fees for them. So hopefully, what they think is that they can do it.
Okay,
Just as long as we have, not just say a year.
Yeah.
Let's put a date on when we can get there.
Claudia, you want to put a date on that?
Sure. I also want to ask, are they able to pay, can they just send in the money for the school taxes in September? Are they financially able? I mean, obviously someone's been paying the taxes because I can see it has been paid back through. Okay,
Well, I think that's when the mother
Right.
became ill.
okay,
And left the home, and I think that's when the tax problem started.
okay. So theoretically, they could pay the school taxes and then they could pay the 2022 in January to try to make it so that this lump
Yes.
thing and, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll put a date on September 1st of next year.
Okay.
July
Oh.
1st of next
My
year?
recommendation would be the last day to redeem next
Okay,
year.
okay,
So
thank
it'll
you.
be the
Second
second
Friday
Friday
in July.
I don't have my phone with me, so I don't have that date.
Thanks.
Anybody have a calendar? Second Friday of July.
So it will
Would be July.
July 8th.
So I would
Okay.
recommend that date.
I'll do that.
Ju-
Thank you.
July 8th,
Ms.
is that
Delory.
going to work for you, Heather? That's a skinny year.
It is, and hopefully, I guess I'll be working starting today, if approved.
just keep us in touch as you go along.
Certainly.
Let us know how you're doing. So we have a motion, we have a second. Do you have anything?
I'm good.
Yeah, Sylvia, you're good? Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion's carried.
Can I,
Good luck, Heather. Yeah.
can I just say something to Heather first before she disappears? This is Mike Scott speaking. We
Hi, Mike.
spoke on the phone. Two things. One, just keep me, abreast of what's going on, especially in sometime in the early part of next year to let me know where you're at.
Okay.
And two, if you need, I will offer my services as a voluntary administrator for the estate if you want.
Thank you. That actually will probably be very, very helpful.
Okay.
Great, thank you, Michael. Okay,
Thank you for your time.
oh, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Good
Thank
luck.
Okay, that was for the last chance meeting. People for the parcel discussion end of it. Next would be, just want to ratify with you guys the so far granted extensions through the county treasurer's office. I included a list for you in the packet. There is a resolution that gives Mike that authority to grant, and he can still grant right up until the end of July. So he basically can accept payments till the end of July from people.
Okay. Any questions? You good with that, Sylvia? Okay. Do you need any action from us? Just bring us an update, okay?
No, everything's good.
That's it?
I'll let you all know though, as of this morning, there's still 64 parcels in the foreclosure. But then consider removing, I think, Mike, what was there, 18 parcels on your,
Yeah.
removing those 18, so,
46.
yeah, we're good.
That's about where we usually
That's
are.
about where we
Yeah.
usually,
Cool.
might be a couple over, but
Don, do we have anything from anybody else?
No public comment if you're looking for me.
That was the question. Thank you, Don. Anything else? Entertain a motion to adjourn? Peter, so moved. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.